Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news right now at 8 o'clock, a 9-hour standoff with deputies and hundreds of rounds fired. What we know about the shooting in Chatham County that left a man injured. And more breaking news on a tractor-trailer crash. An 18-wheeler caught fire and spilled marble across I-85. What caused this crash on the bridge over Falls Lake? Also breaking out of Washington, D.C., 2 Israeli embassy staff members killed. How world leaders are reacting to the deadly attack.
And it's a very comfortable start this morning. Our dew point is low, feeling comfortable. I'll show you how long it feels like this and when we'll have some more rain in the forecast.
And the Canes will try again after losing to the Florida Panthers on Tuesday. The team has an extremely important match at the Lenovo Center tonight. What's ahead for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final? A lot of news to get for you on your Thursday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey. This is a live look over Wilson. You see the whirligigs really going there this morning. It's going to be a breezy day today. A beautiful start, though. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Blue skies. I love it.
Check this out. From our tower looking over Garner, there's really hardly a cloud in the sky, and that's the way things are going to look and feel for most of the day. Right now it is 67 degrees in the triangle, and our dew point feels very comfortable at 55. The dew point is the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, so the lower that number is, the more comfortable it feels. Temperatures are mostly in the low to mid 60s from the triangle area northward, but we're starting to push 70 now in Southern Pines and Fayetteville. Our temperature this afternoon will climb into the low 80s, but it should feel pretty comfortable because our dew point or our humidity will be fairly low. Temperatures are running anywhere from around 5 to almost 10 degrees cooler than this time yesterday in some places. And as Michelle said, it will be a breezy afternoon with gusts around 20 to 25 miles per hour. 75 at lunchtime. We'll see a high of 81 degrees this afternoon. Looking ahead to the holiday weekend, Saturday and Sunday both look pretty good. Late on Sunday, some showers and storms develop, and that may linger into Monday. We'll walk through what we're expecting on Futurecast coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, 8:02 happening now. Let's get right to that backup that we're seeing on I-40 westbound. This is near Aviation Parkway as a result of this crash involving a motorcycle. Believe it or not, traffic is beginning to ease up just a little bit because an hour ago, this was a parking lot, but you can see some of those lanes beginning to move there in those westbound lanes. Here's what we're looking at. You're looking at just a half-hour delay. About an hour ago, that was an hour's delay right there. So things are getting a little better there on I-40 westbound. Still, you're in a rush. I-40, to avoid I-40, I-540 is an alternate route. Highway 70 to Durham is another alternate route. To the east of Raleigh, boy, the bumper traffic there on Highway 64 near Arundel Avenue in Zebulon. It was as a result of a crash that's likely in the clearing phase right now, but we're still seeing the lingering delays stretching all the way back to 264. And clearly a lot of people are taking advantage of the alternate route there on Gannon Avenue, Highway 97. So 6 of one, half dozen of another, right? Depending on where you go. Hopefully you're not too much in a rush this morning. But in terms of what we're seeing coming into the capital city, that's a 12-minute delay coming in from Wake Forest this morning. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thank you, Ken. Breaking news. A man is in custody after a 9-hour standoff with deputies in Chatham County. The sheriff's office says it started at 3:30 on Lambert Chapel Road in Bear Creek. It ended after midnight. Deputies were trying to serve an involuntary commitment order when they say the man started shooting at them. Deputies returned fire. Hundreds of shots were fired over the next several hours. The man was shot. No deputies were hurt. The sheriff's office has not released the man's name. And more breaking news. Thousands of pounds of marble spilled across I-85 and a tractor trailer caught fire. Ali Kadlubar is in the WRAL breaking news tracker right now near the Falls Lake Bridge at the Durham-Granville County line. Ali, cleanup efforts still underway.
Yes, good morning. We can see in the distance right there the Falls Lake Bridge. We can see traffic flowing just as normal. Finally, crews finally left the scene just about 2 hours ago. Heavy machinery cleaned up marble on Falls Lake Bridge for hours. This all started around 1 a.m. when an 18-wheeler heading southbound on I-85 blew a tire and hit a guardrail. The cab caught on fire and it spilled its load on north and southbound lanes. The hefty cleanup made officers shut down the bridge. Traffic in both directions was stuck at a standstill. Highway Patrol says a suspected drunk driver also caused a 4-vehicle pileup on the northbound side. Luckily, there were only minor injuries. As for the 18-wheeler driver, he did not get hurt at all. Now, we are still working to learn who was involved in all of these crashes. We are also still working to find out what charges the suspected drunk driver could be facing. We're going to keep you updated. Reporting in Durham County, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
And more breaking news around midnight. 2 people died. 5 others were hurt in a crash in Cumberland County. The crash happened on Camden Road near Oakland Avenue. Troopers say 2 cars were involved. 2 women died in that crash. 4 others were seriously hurt, including one who was flown to a hospital in Chapel Hill. Another person has minor injuries. The road reopened about 5 o'clock this morning. Troopers say they have not determined the cause of the crash, but no charges are expected. And new overnight from the WRAL breaking news tracker, a motorcycle rider is seriously hurt after a crash. It happened just before midnight in southern Wake County on NC 42 near Rock Service Station Road. In this video here, you can see the motorcycle severely damaged. Troopers say it hit a minivan hauling a trailer. World leaders are ramping up security at symbolic Jewish sites following a deadly shooting outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. The victims have been identified as Yaron Lachinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgram. Both were Israeli embassy staff members. Lachinsky recently bought a ring and planned to propose to Milgram. Police say 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez ran into the museum following the attack, and witnesses assumed he was a bystander. He was so shaken, security guards offered him water. Rodriguez waited for police to arrive and told them he did it for Gaza as they took him into custody.
Jeff, I'm going to WRAL Live Center. I have some breaking news to show you. I want to take you to a live look here in San Diego, California. This is a suburb of San Diego where it was reported a small plane crashed in this neighborhood. In the middle of the picture, just left of that tree there, you see a little bit of smoke in the distance. This happened about an hour ago, and it's being reported by California Highway Patrol, their heavy presence on that scene, that there's a home on fire back there. There's a couple of vehicles that were on fire. They have closed some ramps and some to highways and some streets there locally. They set up an evacuation center at a nearby school there, but still trying to get some more details here. It's brought a lot of people. I've seen a lot of different views and angles of this live scene here. There's a lot of folks out of their homes around in the streets there trying to figure out what went on, but I'm going to get some more information about this. There's no information about how many people may be injured on the ground or how many people may have been on board that plane.
So scary. All right. Thank you, Jeff. Well, the Carolina Hurricanes, they will take the ice at the Lenovo Center tonight for Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is there right now inside. And Kelsey, the team has a lot of pressure going into tonight after an at-home loss on Tuesday. They need the win.
Yes, Michelle, Canes fans are really hoping for a comeback. The Canes will go head-to-head against the Florida Panthers again tonight. So we'll give you a look now at the Lenovo Center. We know that this place is going to be a packed house later tonight. We'll show you some video now from Game 1. The Panthers came to Raleigh and got the jump from the start. They went up 2-0 in the first period and went on to a 5-2 win. The Canes have not won an Eastern Conference Final game since 2009. They're hoping to break that losing streak tonight. We spoke with Canes fans in downtown Raleigh about how they're feeling heading into Game 2. They have their fingers crossed for a win, so you'll hear from one of those Caniacs coming up in the next half hour. The head coach and some select players will be speaking today ahead of tonight's game. So they'll be speaking this morning at 11 o'clock. You can catch that on WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And after tonight's game and after every Canes game during the Stanley Cup playoffs, get exclusive insights and expert analysis on WRAL. Canes exclusive postgame live airs at 11:25 tonight. A plan to place a toll on part of Capitol Boulevard is one step closer to happening. The Capital Area Metropolitan Planning Authority voted to have the DOT and the Turnpike Authority move forward with the plan. It also, however, wants a deeper study about other forms of transportation along the corridor and how to keep traffic off neighborhood streets. Raleigh City Council previously approved a plan to turn Capitol Boulevard into a toll road from 540 to the Franklin County line. Construction would begin in 2027 and would take about 6 years to complete. Violent crime is up in Durham, but the city is seeing fewer shootings overall. The Durham Police Department will present its latest crime numbers to City Council today. New data in the first quarter crime report shows homicides went from 6 in the first quarter of 2024 to 9 in 2025. The department is solving a significant number of cases, more than doubling its clearance rate compared to last year. Youth crime offenses have also increased. And in Durham, county commissioners are making a plan on how to spend your tax dollars. Today, they have a work session on the budget. The board is looking to identify priority spending areas for 2025 and 2026. You can share your budget concerns, needs, and priorities with the board online right now. Time now is 8:10. Health hazard investigation. The federal probe into a building on NC State's campus will start again. What this means to students and families potentially impacted by cancer-causing chemicals. And dangerous baby swings. A warning has been issued to caregivers about a line of infant sleep swings. How these Amazon items break safety laws.
And if you're planning to head out of town, I'm going to have the beach and mountain forecast for the holiday weekend coming up. 8:14, don't be jealous. There are a lot of people getting a start on the holiday weekend here at Carolina Beach. Some surfers in the water, some people out walking on this beautiful, beautiful day. But keep in mind that it's probably going to be on the cool side. It's not going to be a real hot kind of holiday weekend. So it may feel very comfortable to sit on the beach, but it may not be hot enough for some of us to go swimming. We do have moderate rip current danger for today. Keep in mind that you just want to check that every day and make sure that it's not too dangerous to get in the water if you are. But our temperatures along the coast on Saturday will only be in the mid 70s, and we're looking at about the same thing on Sunday. Some of the southern beaches into the low 80s. It is likely to be dry on Saturday and Sunday, but wet on Monday along the coast. It's dry on Saturday in the mountains with temperatures mostly in the mid 70s, but it's likely to be wet for Sunday and Monday in the mountains. Here, of course, we have the chance for some showers and storms on Monday. I'll walk you through the timeline, Ken.
Well, it's been happening now. The WRAL Traffic Center. We just want to get you updated on that situation on I-40 westbound. Boy, things are definitely getting better. 2 lanes were blocked, but this crash is likely in the clearing phase right now because this is what we're looking at. You can see still a little bit of a delay there, but these lanes right there are moving nicely. I tell you, it used to be an hour delay there on I-40 westbound, but right now you're just looking at a 4-minute delay, so no need to worry about those alternate routes at this point. This is the other trouble spot down east on 64 there at Rindle Avenue. That's beginning to ease just a little bit as well.
All right, thank you, Ken. A fire that destroyed a historic black church was the work of an arsonist. That's the finding of the Memphis Police Department and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Flames raced through Claiborne Temple on April 28th. Police released several pictures of a person who may have been involved. The church was the site of significant activities during the civil rights era. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. spoke there shortly before his assassination in 1968. And this afternoon, we expect to get an update on the bombing attack on a fertility clinic in Palm Springs, California. The staff will also share its plans moving forward. American Reproductive Centers is working to finalize a temporary fertility clinic near its Palm Springs office. Despite the devastation, staffers have already resumed work, although actual IVF procedures are on hold until the business secures the necessary licenses. And police in Fayetteville are working to make an arrest after a woman was shot at a fast food restaurant. Police say the shooting happened at the Wendy's on Skyborough Road. They say that a woman was shot in the leg. Several other bullets hit the front of the restaurant. And starting pay for Raleigh's 911 call takers could go up by 17% under a proposed city budget. If it's approved, starting employees would make more than $49,000. That brings starting pay closer to the 2024 national median salary. That's according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. Feedback on the budget revealed people in at least 3 districts say operator pay should be a priority. A public hearing on the budget is set for June 3rd. And the investigation into a potential cancer cluster at NC State's Poe Hall will start again. More than 225 people have reported to WRAL they developed cancer after spending time in that building. The federal probe is now resuming after last month. The university said it was over due to federal budget cuts. Families and students say they're happy the investigation is moving forward.
people were a bit defeated after finding out about Poe Hall, the PCBs, and the closure of the building. So it's definitely nice that they're taking it seriously for students that have been here now and for families of people that have been affected.
NC State has not provided a timeline on how long the investigation will take. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is warning caregivers to immediately stop using certain infant swings that could cause serious injury or death. Quirk infant swings are marketed for infant sleep, but have an incline angle greater than 10 degrees. That violates the Safe Sleep for Babies Act and the federal infant sleep products rule. The items were sold online at Amazon from October of 2023 through November of last year. And covering Cumberland County this afternoon, the school system will host a celebration for the departing superintendent, Dr. Marvin Connolly Jr. He has dedicated more than 34 years to public education. Connolly has served as superintendent of Cumberland County Schools since 2018. His retirement will be celebrated at the Education Resource Center, and the community is welcome to drop in from 3 to 6 p.m. Also happening today, you can celebrate an upcoming state-of-the-art athletic facility being built in Rollsville. Town leaders will join developers for a groundbreaking ceremony. The new facility will include an ice hockey rink, courts for basketball, volleyball, pickleball, and floor hockey, as well as a Ninja Warrior training facility. It all gets started at noon at the former Pine Glow building. That's on South Main Street. And it's the end of an era for WRAL. After 32 years, WRAL's Deborah Morgan has anchored her final newscast. She thanked viewers and the community for welcoming her into their homes for more than 3 decades. A few tears were shed, but we are so happy. We are so excited for Deborah and her new chapter. So well deserved. After her final newscast, a packed house of WRAL greats, past and present, wish Deborah the best.
This has been every single ounce of me for 40 years, and I will miss it. So I will miss all of you.
And we will miss her passion and her compassion. Tonight, she will be honored at the Carolina Hurricanes game. She will sound the starting siren. Deborah is going to be so missed. It was said last night, what you see on TV is what you get in person. She's the same person. She's just a fantastic human. All right, well, it was a long night into the morning at the DBAP where you were looking live. The last out of the second round of the ACC baseball tournament was not recorded until 2:17 this morning. Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning. Today, the tournament moves into its next round. The 4-seed NC State Wolfpack will play their first game tonight at 7 against Clemson. 7-seed Duke got a win yesterday and moves on to play Florida State. That game is tomorrow afternoon at 3, and 3-seed UNC will play their first game tomorrow night at 7. They'll play Boston College, who beat Virginia in that game that ended after 2 o'clock this morning. And we were saying, who was still there at 2 in the morning? Elizabeth was like, the parents, the proud parents supporting their kids playing.
That's right. It's like college. It's college tournament.
Yeah.
So I bet there were some parents out there. I mean, I would have been out there if I had a baseball player and didn't have to work really early in the morning. Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, Chapel Hill looking still pretty this morning. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. And we're looking at a big switch in our weather pattern. Our big cold front came through. And now the next weather maker is this wind that's coming out of the northwest. It's bringing in some nice dry conditions for us. But as we get into the holiday weekend, another front moves in and stalls, and we're going to see waves of rain riding along that front. We'll start to see that late Sunday, maybe as early as dinner time, but definitely Sunday night, and then into the day on Monday, at least on and off. So keep that in mind as you're making your plans. This is a look at kind of a first shot at Futurecast. This is Friday at 8 p.m. So you can see we're nice and dry, but the flow is coming out of the northwest. So watch this band of thunderstorms that's back to the west. This is Saturday at 5 o'clock, so still looking good. Sunday morning is good. And then right here at 5 o'clock, we start to see some of that rain moving in. Then it's with us kind of on and off. And notice how it just kind of follows the same path, kind of rolls in here. This is Monday at 5 p.m. And then expect Tuesday and Wednesday that will be in that same sort of wet pattern. So that's what we're watching for the weekend. Definitely not a washout by any means. Today, tomorrow, Saturday all look great. And most of the daytime, Sunday looks good. It'll just be overnight Sunday night and then into the day on Monday. Very very pleasant temperatures. Highs will be in the 70s all the way through the holiday weekend, but we're definitely looking at a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially Monday afternoon. As we get a little bit closer to Monday, we'll be able to tell if it will affect your morning hours as well. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Things are really getting better on I-40 westbound. This is what I'm talking about. This crash that had closed 2 lanes, likely in the clearing phase, and we're seeing things really easing up because look at what we're talking about. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us. At one point about an hour ago, that was a virtual parking lot, and the delay was up to an hour. Here's what we're looking at right now. You're just looking at a 6-minute delay. Listen, if you're in a rush this morning, you can try I-540 as an alternate route, and Highway 70 if you're going to Durham as well. The other trouble spot has been a crash right here on Highway 64 and those westbound lanes coming in from Zebulon. Highway 97 is your alternate route as well.
All right, thank you, Ken. Tracking crime. New data from Durham Police shows violent crime is up. What the department is sharing about cases solved and youth offenses. And a fiery truck crash. Crews removed thousands of pounds of marble spilled on I-85. The traffic backups the crash caused.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Time now is 8:26. I'm Michelle McConaughey. We are feeling so nice out there right now. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center to walk us through our day.
Stepping out into the 60s, 64 in Wilson, 67 in Durham, and 69 in Fayetteville. Lots of sunshine and a nice drop in our humidity. It's going to be a great morning to get out and do some exercise. Our temperatures climb to around 75 at lunchtime. And even though it'll be warm in the low 80s this afternoon, our humidity stays low all day. Plenty of sunshine, and we're going to copy and paste this at least through Saturday and most of Sunday before we see some showers and thunderstorms for Memorial Day. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, listen, things are really getting better on those I-40 westbound lanes there as a result of this crash that were blocking 2 lanes. But right now, it's really in the clearing phase, and traffic is really beginning to move just a little bit. It's not moving as fast as you would like it to, but at least it's moving this morning because a little while ago, that was an hours-long wait there. And right now, we're just looking at a 6-minute delay if you're going west on Durham this morning. But of course, you got I-540 and Highway 70, 2 alternate routes.
All right, thank you, Ken. All lanes of I-85 on Falls Lake Bridge are open following a fiery crash. 3 people were hurt when a tire blew out on an 18-wheeler, causing the driver to crash into the guardrail and spill its load. Crews spent hours clearing tens of thousands of pounds of marble off the road. And a motorcycle rider is seriously hurt after crashing into a minivan. It happened just before midnight on NC-42 near Rock Service Station Road. Troopers say the minivan was hauling a trailer. Next on Fox 50, no criminal charges for 2 troopers. The ruling from Wake County's district attorney. And next on Today, breaking down this summer's hit movies.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news right now at 8:30. A man is shot after a 9-hour standoff with deputies in Chatham County. What the sheriff's office says about the shootout that included hundreds of rounds fired. And more breaking news, marble mess on I-85. The impact to traffic after a tractor-trailer crash this morning.
And it feels very comfortable stepping outside after yesterday's front. Our dew point is nice and low. Taking a look at the holiday weekend where we may see at least some rain.
And the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canes are back on the ice for Game 2 at the Lenovo Center. Their shot at redemption after dropping Game 1 to the Panthers. We will have a live report inside the Lenovo Center coming up. Thanks for sticking with us here at 8:30. I'm Michelle McConaughey. And of course, we have to talk about this beautiful weather first. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with a gorgeous view in Fayetteville. I mean, maybe a light sweater, but it's so nice out there.
It's really warming up nicely. It's almost 70 in Fayetteville right now. Look at the beautiful sunshine. And of course, it's just so lovely there on Hay Street right now. 67 is our temperature in the Triangle, and our dew point is a very comfortable 55. That number is a a measure of moisture in the atmosphere. And so 55 is nice and low, so it feels great. 70 in Southern Pines, 69 in Fayetteville, 64 in Rocky Mount, and 62 up in South Hill. Our temperatures are running in some spots anywhere from 4 or 5 degrees up to 7 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. This afternoon, expect the winds to pick up after lunchtime, 20 to 25, almost 30 miles per hour potentially. So a little gusty later on today, and a comfortable 81 for the high with lots and lots of sunshine. We're going to copy and paste today all the way through Saturday, but then late Sunday into Monday for Memorial Day, we have the chance of some showers and storms. I'll walk you through the timeline coming up. Ken?
Well, Elizabeth, congestion is definitely improving in I-40 westbound. Let's get right to it. This crash that were blocking 2 lanes, probably in the clearing phase, but you can see still lingering delays there on I-40 west. Those are the eastbound lanes coming toward us. The westbound lanes are on the other side, really beginning to move. About an hour ago, it was an hour rate, but right now we're just looking at a 6-minute delay between Wade Avenue and getting down to I-540. So it stands to reason if you're still in a rush, I-540 could be an alternate route if you're going to Durham Highway 70 as well. We've got the center lane, speaking of I-440, on westbound near Buffalo blocked, but we're not seeing any delays in the area. So if you're taking I-540 as an alternate route, you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. We do know that this crash that was really causing some heavy congestion here on Highway 64 near Rendell Avenue there in Zebulon has cleared, but of course you're seeing the lingering delays there in Zebulon. Right now, you might want to use Highway 97 as an alternate route if you're in a rush. As far as other routes coming into the capital city, the main trouble spot, Wake Forest, you're going to need an 8-minute delay. If you're coming in from Knightdale, you're just looking at a 5-minute delay. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. And all lanes of traffic are cleared after a tractor-trailer spilled thousands of pounds of marble on I-85. Ali Kadlubar reports on the cleanup efforts that had traffic at a standstill for more than 4 hours.
You can see Falls Lake Bridge in the distance, traffic flowing as normal. Crews took about 5 hours early this morning to clear up a major mess. Heavy machinery cleaned up marble on Falls Lake Bridge for hours. This all started around 1 a.m. when an 18-wheeler heading southbound on I-85 blew a tire and hit a guardrail. The cab caught on fire and it spilled its load on north and southbound lanes. The hefty cleanup made officers shut down the bridge. Traffic in both directions was stuck at a standstill. Highway Patrol says a suspected drunk driver also caused a 4-vehicle pileup on the northbound side. Luckily, there were only minor injuries. As for the 18-wheeler driver, he did not get hurt at all. We are still working to learn who was involved in all of these crashes, as well as the charges the suspected drunk driver could be facing. We're going to keep you updated. Reporting in Durham County, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
And more breaking news. A man is in custody after a 9-hour standoff with deputies in Chatham County. The sheriff's office says it started at 3:30 yesterday on Lambert Chapel Road in Bear Creek and ended just after midnight. Deputies were trying to serve an involuntary commitment order when they say the man started shooting at them. Deputies returned fire. Hundreds of shots were fired over the next several hours. The man was shot. No deputies were hurt. The sheriff's office has not released the man's name. And breaking news around midnight, 2 people died, 5 others hurt in a crash in Cumberland County. The crash happened on Camden Road near Oakland Avenue. Troopers say 2 cars were involved. 2 women died in the crash. 4 others were hurt, including one who was flown to a hospital in Chapel Hill. Another person has minor injuries. The road reopened about 5 o'clock this morning. Troopers say they have not determined the cause of the crash, but no charges are expected. New overnight, the FBI says the shooting of 2 people outside an event at a Jewish museum in D.C. was a targeted act of violence. The Israeli embassy identified the victims as Yoran Lechinsky and Sarah Milgram. They were a couple, and an ambassador says Lechinsky planned to propose next week in Jerusalem. President Donald Trump reacting to their killings on social media, saying these horrible D.C. killings, based obviously on anti-Semitism, must end now. The suspect is identified as a 30-year-old man from Chicago. Police say that he approached a group of 4 people and opened fire, killing 2. After the shooting, he walked into the museum and was detained by event security. He was reportedly chanting, "Free, free Palestine." The victims were staff members of the Israeli embassy in Washington. And this morning, a jury is entering a third day of deliberations in the trial of a man accused of killing a Home Depot employee. Terry McMillan is charged with killing 82-year-old Gary Razor when he shoved him to the ground. This happened in Hillsborough back in October of 2022. Razor died a month later. The jury started deliberating on Tuesday and worked all day yesterday without coming to a verdict. And WRAL will be in Orange County as the jury reconvenes this morning. Watch our evening news from 4 to 7:30 for any updates about court proceedings or a verdict. The Carolina Hurricanes look to bounce back tonight in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at Lenovo Center this morning. Kelsey, lots of energy behind the Canes this morning. I think it's going to be a loud house in there.
Absolutely, Michelle. Canes fans are really hoping for a comeback. We'll give you a look now at the ice early this morning as we're expecting to see a packed house here at the Lenovo Center later tonight. The Canes will go head-to-head against the Florida Panthers. We'll show you video now from Game 1. The Panthers came to Raleigh and got the jump from the start. They went up 2-0 in the first period and went on to a 5-2 win. The Canes have not won an Eastern Conference final game since 2009. They're hoping to break that losing streak tonight. We spoke with Canes fans in downtown Raleigh about how they're feeling heading into Game 2. Fingers crossed for a win, but Debbie Aker says Caniacs are rooting for them regardless.
I am a part of a center at NC State University, and my whole staff talk about the Canes. They go to the games. We love the Canes, and I think it's just been a real opportunity for the community to join together and have a great fun.
The Canes head coach and some select players will speak ahead of tonight's game. They'll be speaking this morning at 11 o'clock, so you can catch that on WRAL.com. Puck drop is tonight at 8. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And after tonight's game and after every Canes game during the Stanley Cup playoffs, get exclusive insights and expert analysis on WRAL. Canes exclusive postgame live airs at 11:25 tonight. Well, breaking news, House Republicans passed President Trump's tax bill by a razor-thin margin earlier this morning. All Democrats and 2 Republicans voted against it. The bill is expected to add more than $3 trillion to the deficit over the next 10 years. If it becomes law, more than 7 million people will lose Medicaid coverage. The measure would provide temporary tax breaks for tipped wages and overtime. The measure now heads to the Senate, which has said it plans to make changes. And violent crime is up in Durham, but the city is seeing fewer shootings overall. The Durham Police Department will present its latest crime numbers to City Council today. New data in the first quarter crime report shows that homicides went from 6 in the first quarter of 2024 to 9 in 2025. The department is solving a significant number of cases, more than doubling its clearance rate compared to last year. Youth crime offenses have also increased. No criminal charges for 2 state troopers involved in a chase that ended in a deadly crash. Wake County's district attorney announced the decision yesterday. An investigation shows the troopers lied about the chase, which ended with the death of Tyrone Mason last year. The DA says while that was a poor decision, it was not a criminal decision. We spoke with former Superior Judge Carl Fox, who says a justified police pursuit is not a crime.
As long as he had a real legitimate purpose and lawful purpose for chasing the decedent, then it really doesn't matter whether or not he was honest about that.
The troopers could still lose their jobs for their conduct. Highway Patrol is conducting their own internal investigation. State House lawmakers today are expected to vote on another relief bill for survivors of Helene in western North Carolina. The $450 million proposal was unveiled yesterday. It's only about half the money that Governor Stein asked for on Monday. It includes tens of millions to help remove fallen trees and debris that have become a wildfire hazard in the mountains. It also includes funds to help rebuild farms and small businesses. The measure is expected to pass with bipartisan support. Its next stop is the state Senate. This afternoon, we expect to get an update from the Governor's Advisory Council for Student Safety and Well-Being. The group will meet virtually to discuss ways to implement school cell phone policies. The council's goal is to help make schools safer and more inclusive. The group is working to put together guidance for school districts all across the state. And happening today, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth will be at Fort Bragg as part of the Post's All-American Week. Hegseth plans to speak during the 82nd Airborne Division's All-American Week review. He'll also visit the Army Special Operations Units and the John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School to observe training.
And Jeff Hogan of the WRAL Live Center, I want to take you right out to this scene. Sky 5 is over the Chatham County scene where that standoff ended after 9 hours with a barrage of gunfire. I want to get you some details because it's an unusual setting when you have all these different law enforcement organizations who are still investigating this, an event that started at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. But a man is in custody after a 9-hour standoff with deputies right in this area. Sheriff's office said this was on Lambert Chapel Road in Bear Creek. It ended just after midnight. They were trying to serve an involuntary commitment order when they say the man just started shooting at them. Deputies returned fire. There were hundreds of shots exchanged over the next several hours. The man ended up being shot. No deputies were injured out of this. We're still working with the sheriff's office to find out the man's name from this incident. But Sky 5 with these live pictures here as that investigation continues with multiple law enforcement agencies.
And coming up, celebrate safely Memorial Day weekend, one of the busiest times for emergency vet visits. WRAL News 5 on your side shares the top 5 Memorial Day dangers for pets and how you can avoid them. And it should be a beautiful, comfortable day with a little less humidity. You're looking live at RDU. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is tracking another cold front and will explain what it means for your weekend forecast.
.46, it sure is a beautiful Thursday morning. Here's a live look at Sanford. A couple of clouds starting to kind of filter in, but for the most part, we're going to end up with nothing but sunshine today. It just looks beautiful. We've had a nice drop in our humidity, so it feels fantastic outside. 69 in Fayetteville, 67 in Durham, 64 in Garner and Cary, as well as Rocky Mount. So just a lovely feel as you're stepping out the door. And yes, lunch hour outside, yes. Yes. Did you hear me? Yes. 75 degrees, sunshine, low humidity. I mean, you got to take advantage of these days. Now, we do have a stretch of days with highs in the 70s. We'll hit 81 this afternoon, but highs are in the 70s heading into the holiday weekend and into next week. But we're also going to add some rain into the forecast for part of the weekend. It's not going to be a washout, but we'll take a look at that coming up. Ken?
Now the WRAL Traffic Center, Elizabeth, things have really gotten a lot better on I-40 westbound. There was a crash involving a motorcycle, which blocked a couple of lanes. That's not the case anymore, but we're still seeing the lingering delays there on I-40 westbound. These are the eastbound lanes coming toward us, but you can see traffic is definitely eased up because hour and a half ago, we were looking at a 1 hour delay. Right now, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay heading west on I-40.
All right, thank you, Ken. Memorial Day weekend marks the start of summer movie season. Rick Damigella runs down 21 flicks heading to cinemas this summer.
Summer movie season kicks off Memorial Day weekend as the live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch and Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning ride into theaters. A week later, the month of May comes to a close with Karate Kid Legends making its way to movie screens.
Welcome to the Continental. Checking in.
A jam-packed June will see Ana de Armas join the John Wick universe in Ballerina, a live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, the horror threequel 28 years later, Pixar's Elio, the racing drama F1 the Movie, and Megan 2.0 all vying for moviegoers' attention. Dinosaurs stomp back into theaters in July with Jurassic World Rebirth, followed by James Gunn's Superman, the remake of I Know What You Did Last Summer, a new animated Smurfs adventure, and Marvel's The Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Showtime.
And the month of August sees the release of The Bad Guys 2, the remake of The Naked Gun, the long-awaited sequel Freakier Friday, the horror mystery Weapons, action comedy Nobody 2, dark comedy Honey Don't, and the reboot of The Toxic Avenger starring Peter Dinklage.
And other movies Hollywood is bringing to theaters this summer include an adaptation of Stephen King's The Life of Chuck, Sydney Sweeney in Americana, and the 41st anniversary of the mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap.
Back here at the WRAL Live Center, I want to take you out to San Diego, California once again, because there are some live pictures here to show you of a small plane that crashed in this neighborhood. This is a military neighborhood. It's a huge update for this story and what we're seeing here at the mercy of our NBC affiliates camera here that we're taking. But there were about 15 homes that were hit by a small Cessna, a private plane that crashed into this military housing neighborhood in a San Diego suburb. One of the local fire officials said he walked that neighborhood and it looked like something out of a movie. There were cars that were on fire in the streets there. There were plane parts in the street. There's jet fuel. It's a hazmat situation because there's jet fuel running down the street. They have not taken anybody on the ground to the hospital. They have not located, at last check, the pilot or if there were any people on that plane. So that is something that they are going through that neighborhood and talking to some of the servicemen there as well, saying that they were just trying to get their kids out of the house and move. When people started banging on the doors, they said, there's military guys, there's no training for that, they say.
Wow. All right, Jeff, thank you. From party food to fireworks and heat, Memorial Day weekend is one of the busiest times for emergency vet visits. 5 on your side's Keely Arthur shares the top 5 Memorial Day weekend hazards for pets and how you can avoid them.
Summer is considered the peak seasons for pet emergencies. And when you think about it, it's easy to understand why. From parties to heat to loud fireworks, here are the dangers you need to be aware of. Heat stroke and dehydration, burnt pads from hot pavement, fireworks and other loud noises, plus toxic food and drinks, and stress from unknown environments.
We want to make sure that we're keeping a close eye on them, that they are staying hydrated, that they're able to get cool somewhere. So do they have shade? Are you keeping them off of that hot pavement? Do they have water readily available? Are we keeping them away from substances or foods that they shouldn't eat? Because even the common, tray of, veggies and fruits may have grapes or something like that that pets can't eat.
And you also want to be aware of harmful products, things like citronella candles, sunscreen, insect repellents, even pool chemicals. If they're ingested or absorbed through the skin, that can be dangerous, and you don't want your pet ending up here. Keely Arthur, 5 on your side.
And we're looking at a gorgeous day outside right now. This is a live look at downtown Raleigh from our Jimmy V camera. Lots of people out and about enjoying this absolutely spectacular day. We had a cold front move through yesterday. Of course, this time yesterday we were watching some rain that moved out and a gorgeous air mass has moved in. 55 is our dew point. That's a measure of moisture in the atmosphere, so it feels very comfortable out there. 67 is our current temperature. Our cold front moved on by. Now our flow is coming out of the northwest, and that's what's going to bring us these very comfortable temperatures and a dry feeling air mass. But it'll also bring some breezy conditions this afternoon. We'll see winds gusting 25 to maybe even up to almost 30 miles per hour. We hit 70 just now in Southern Pines. Elsewhere, temperatures are in the mid to upper 60s. In Apex, 63, 65 Holly Springs, 65 in Cary. So comfortably cool right now, but we'll climb into the low to mid 80s for highs across the area this afternoon. Hurricanes game. This is going to be a very exciting game, I'm sure, and a great evening to be out tailgating ahead of it. Our temperatures will be in the upper 70s if you're heading out to the arena around 6 o'clock. We do have some more moisture headed our way. We're nice and dry and comfortable for Friday and Saturday, but then we're going to see a front stalling over us. So that's going to bring us a chance for rain late on Sunday. You can see that stalled front there. That lifts up into the region by late Sunday and into Monday, and that'll bump up our humidity plus our potential for some scattered thunderstorms. So this is a look at our Memorial Day weekend planner. Look at these temperatures. Absolutely beautiful. But late Sunday, Sunday evening, and Sunday night, some showers and storms, and we could see more of that again for Monday. Again, temperatures are looking great. Today will be the warmest day that we see of the next 7, and it's comfortable into the Memorial Day weekend. Stay with us. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have your top stories.